Once upon a time, in a magical world high up in the sky, there lived a beautiful princess named Sati. Her eyes twinkled like stars, and her long hair danced in the sky's gentle breeze. Sati's dad, King Daksha, ruled this amazing cloud kingdom. Sati was a special princess. She loved to ask questions and think about big ideas. She would often look out at the fluffy clouds and wonder what exciting things might be out there, far beyond her home. Ever since she was little, Sati loved to think about Shiva, a kind and wise god who lived on a snowy mountain far, far away. Shiva was known for being super smart and having a big heart. Sati had never met him, but she would close her eyes and pretend to talk to him for hours. She felt like she knew him somehow, even though they'd never met. None of the other sky people understood why Sati liked Shiva so much, but Sati just knew in her heart that he was really special. As Sati grew up, she really wanted to meet Shiva. She learned about something called meditation, which is like quiet thinking. Every day Sati would find a cozy spot in the palace garden. She'd sit very still, close her eyes, and think really hard about Shiva. She did this for a long time, never giving up hope that one day she'd meet him. One magical day, while Sati was meditating, something amazing happened. The air around her started to sparkle and shine. Slowly, a tall figure appeared in front of her. It was Shiva. He had a kind smile that made Sati's heart feel warm and happy. She could hardly believe her eyes. All her patient waiting had finally brought her face to face with the god she had dreamed about for so long. Sati and Shiva became the best of friends right away. They would talk for hours about all sorts of amazing things. They laughed together, shared stories, and soon fell in love. They decided to get married, and their wedding was the biggest, most wonderful party the sky world had ever seen. Everyone was so happy for them, and it seemed like even the clouds were dancing with joy. But not everyone was happy about Sati and Shiva's marriage. Sati's dad, King Daksha, didn't understand their love. He couldn't see how special Shiva was. This made Sati feel very sad. She loved her dad and wanted him to be happy for her, but she also loved Shiva with all her heart. It was a tricky problem, and Sati didn't know what to do. Sati was so sad that she decided she needed to leave the sky world, but her love for Shiva was so strong that it couldn't just disappear. Instead, something magical happened. Sati's spirit turned into a bright shining star. This star fell down to earth, where it would be born again as a new baby. This baby would grow up to be a girl named Parvati. Down on earth, in a beautiful kingdom in the mountains, a baby girl was born. Her parents were the king and queen of the mountains, and they named her Parvati. She was a very special baby, with eyes that seemed wise beyond her years. As Parvati grew up, she was surrounded by tall peaks, flowing rivers, and lush green forests. It was very different from the sky world, but somehow it felt familiar to her. As Parvati grew up, she started to feel a strange feeling in her heart. It was like she was missing someone she had never met. She didn't know it, but she was feeling love for Shiva. Parvati would often sit by the river or in the forest, daydreaming about a kind and wise god who lived high up in the mountains. She didn't know why, but thinking about him made her feel happy and peaceful. Parvati, just like Sati before her, started to meditate. She would sit very still on a big rock, listen to the birds singing, and think about the god in the mountains. She did this every day, no matter if it was hot or cold, rainy or sunny. She was very patient and never gave up. The animals of the forest seemed to understand what she was doing, and they would keep her company and make sure she was safe. After a long time, something amazing happened. Shiva, who had been missing Sati all this time, suddenly realized that Parvati was actually Sati, born again. He was so happy that he decided to come down from his mountain to meet her. When Parvati saw Shiva, something magical happened. All her memories of being Sati came flooding back. they were both so happy to be together again. Shiva and Parvati, who everyone now called Shailputri, which means daughter of the mountains, were so happy to be together again. They got married once more, and this time everyone was happy for them, even Parvati's new mountain family. Shiva and Shailputri lived together on the beautiful mountain, spreading love and kindness to all the people and animals. Their love story teaches us that true love is very strong and can overcome anything.